Previously in X-Men. Disaster. The unthinkable. Agents of Genosha, a mutant enslaving nation in the Indian Ocean, have violently kidnapped members of the New Mutants from the grounds of the very school designed to protect them. Amongst the Genoshans is an oddly familiar plasma-blasting magistrate. Amongst the captured is the adolescent Storm. I am Jason Lapidus.
And I'm Chris Hannigan.
And we are a group of 7 comics. Welcome to episode 216 of our ongoing read-through of the X-Men comics that became classic, as we read Uncanny X-Men 271, The X-tinction Agenda, Part 4, by Chris Claremont, Jim Lee, Scott Williams, cover date of December 1990. Chris, how are you?
Doing well, thanks. If I remember correctly, December 1990, I spent it in Boston, visiting family for Christmas.
That's lovely. I'm glad you have that memory. This probably came out actually in closer to September.
Right.
They're cover dated, months later, and that's all good.
I remember going to some kind of children's museum in Boston. They have a famous children's museum.
Amazing.
I also remember that Christmas getting Michelangelo, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that was an amazing Christmas.
Well, that does sound just great. Speaking of toys from the 80s and early 90s, hello to everyone in the chat. Hope you're all doing well. I see that Ali has asked the very important, and I say that not in jest, but like culturally speaking for a certain group of people. She's raised the question of anyone else see He-Man and the Masters of the Universe? Is that what it's called? I believe it's called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Anyone else go see it this weekend? So Ali says it was great. She loved it. Michael hasn't seen it yet, but will at some point. Maz said they saw it with his boys. They all enjoyed it. And Anthony has swerved and said, hey, nice to briefly see you both at TCAF.
Sure was, Anthony.
Oh, just Masters of the Universe. No He-Man in the title. That's cool. It was always good to see Anthony outside of the confines of the comic book store. So it was very good to see you at the Toronto Comic Arts Festival, which was this weekend, which is why I sound like this again. No, I'm not sick. Do not worry. I've just had to push too much to speak. We're in a large hockey arena all weekend, and the ambient volume is raised. So I've had to push my voice for the last few days, and I could use a couple days of rest.
And not just any old hockey arena.
Oh, I mean, I wasn't going to get into it, but yeah, which arena is it, Chris?
The former Maple Leaf Gardens, which, saw the home of the Toronto Maple Leafs in the 1930s until late 90s. So
about 99?
Yeah.
Right around there. Yeah, cool.
I think the last time the Leafs won the cup in that building.
It's going to come up every single time. Absolutely, it was there. But anyway, at least the team played there that year. I don't know if they actually won it in-house. I think they did, because in all the footage, George Armstrong scoring that empty netter is wearing darks, which would be blue, but it's in black and white, so it's just dark. And that would mean that they were the home team in that era. They hadn't switched to the white for the home team for the next
That's era. Right. That was a television switch, right? I believe.
Great
Maybe
question.
In the 70s, 80s?
In the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly when, but I had nothing to do with it, so I'm going to move on. All right. Yes. Group of 7 comics.ca. Of course, it's the number 7. That's the website to go to help support the channel. There you can find our graphic novels, Group of 7, A Most Secret Tale, and Peregrines, Fights, Fiends, and Fisticuffs, both written by Chris, drawn by me. And you can find them in both print and digital formats, as well as, I think there are some single issue bundles still available.
I believe so.
And issues 7 and 8 of Group of 7 Comics is there. And haven't added it yet, but Derek Laufman told me to.
He knows his stuff.
Ninja Versus, action-packed anthology. short stories by amazing indie comic creators, and it also features the first ever appearance of the debut of the original character Lockdown Jack. So you can pick that up. Soon it'll be on our site, maybe tomorrow. But anyway, all that's there. Can I move on from that?
I think
Good. We just appeared at TCAF, the Toronto Comic Arts Festival, over the weekend. Our next announced appearance is going to be the Prairie Comics Festival in September, where Chris, you and I are taking a road trip to Winnipeg, Manitoba. I've never been. I've never been out west that way. I've flown over, but I've never been there. Can't wait to experience that, have a road trip with you, and get to visit one of Canada's great cities at a good time of year too. So I'm looking forward to that.
It's gonna be awesome. Roll down those windows.
What's that?
Roll down those car windows.
Because the air is so fresh outside.
Air is so fresh. Breathe it in.
I can't wait. Creeping me out. And in November, you and I are taking a flight over the pond to go to Thought Bubble in Harrogate in England, in Yorkshire. And that's a great comic convention full of really cool indie stuff, as well as some of the stars of current comics. So we have a really fun second half of the year to look forward to.
I'm really hoping for an Alan Moore sighting.
I see people that look like him all the time. Mm-hmm. It's the sighting is not the exciting part. I think if you want to have an Alan Moore experience that you're going to remember, just go read one of the comics again. They're great every time.
That's true.
All right, can we detour for a couple minutes before we get into the issue?
I think we can.
Chris, did you know about the fan stream yesterday from Marvel Legends?
Nope, I did not.
Well, then I have some reveals for you. You ready?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I do like the reveals.
Aside from things that are in the broader Marvel universe, whether it be movies or comics or retro, animated, whatever, sticking just to our little corner of the X universe.
Mm-hmm.
New figures from Deadpool Wolverine, another wave. Yeah. So one that is like one of the first ever concept figures that they've ever done, because they get a lot of designs from Marvel Studios that never get used in the movie. So they made this one a figure because they liked it so much. And all it required was probably just a new head sculpt. Ready?
Do it. Really?
Yes, really. So whatever he's called, I think they named it on the stream. They might have called it like Wolverine Pool or whatever.
Sure.
Or Deaderine. It doesn't really matter. But
right.
This figure is coming, and it is exactly what you think it is. And if it's your cup of tea, more power to you.
Okay.
Next one, an X-Force style color scheme for Deadpool on the movie body that they've already been using. Okay. So just a different color. This is like a kind of no-brainer for them. And they've just given the figure like new web gear. So it's nothing shocking there.
Okay.
But are you ready for this?
I hope so.
Okay.
Wow.
The Cavalrine.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So to the trained eye, excuse me, I think you might recognize perhaps the Luke Cage body and possibly the arms. Those look like the jeans and maybe the lower torso of the Luke Cage figure. I'm not exactly sure. But we'd have to get this one up close, as I think a lot of people would like to do, and have the Cavalrine as part of the collection. It's so funny that, it's such a fun joke to like a gag to put this in the movie, and then to just keep it going for another 2 years, and now getting the figure of this.
Wow. All right.
Has it been 2 years already, or is it 1 year?
No, this summer will be 2 years.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So that's coming.
All right.
And I'm on the fence if I need this figure or not.
Right.
I have a lot of Wolverines, like a
You
lot,
do.
like so many, and I really do love them. And I play around with them regularly. You know, this is a fun one. Allie's like, where is the Channing Tatum
Hate him
gambit?
Gambit.
Allie, I think I do think you're going to get one. I think there's if they wanted to give fans this and they announced this as one of the first figures from Wave 2 or whatever this is, Wave 3, uh, that means there's something bigger coming. And given that Gambit is spoilers, he's going to be in Avengers Doomsday. We're going to get a Gambit figure at some point. So I've been collecting Marvel Legends since I think Age of Ultron.
Okay.
And almost every figure I've wanted has eventually shown up. And yeah, that's been 15 years. And yeah, I'm patient, but they all come around eventually. And they're just honestly the quality, the face prints, the paint apps, the plastic joints, like everything's just gotten better and better and better. And yes, they're more expensive, but I do think having bought, an expensive imported figure, having bought the cheapest Marvel Legends back then, the quality jump has been significant, and I rarely regret getting one. So I don't know.
As a line, a toy line, when does Marvel Legends start? Like you're saying Age of Ultron, so what is that, 2010?
Well, this Captain America here came out maybe about 4 years or 5 years ago, and that was the 20th anniversary.
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't think we're at the 25th anniversary just yet.
So in the 2000s.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're coming up on 25 years, I'm sure. It's very soon. And but it kind of comes out of a line of 6-inch figures that were probably Spider-Man.
Okay.
Whatever that they called them. Yeah, but it's about almost 25 years now. Ali says, I'm missing First Costume Rogue and Savage Land Rogue, but have all the legends of Winter Soldier, Rogue, Gambit, and Magneto. I think Legends started in 2002. Yeah, that tracks. I mean, we're really coming up on the year next year.
Love triangle of Magneto and Rogue and Gambit.
Yeah, I mean, I see it too.
You know,
I mean, why not throw Winter Soldier in there, right?
He's a good-looking guy.
He's a good-looking guy. Yeah, it's fun to have. Those are fun figures. Getting that Savage Land Rogue is going to be tricky, I think, Ali, because it's part of a 3-pack, and it was like a Comic-Con exclusive. I end up looking at the modifications. Like people have done mods and customized.
Yeah, of course.
That figure, you can find shorts of it on YouTube, and the gap between like where that figure's at and the improved are so significant. So there's a lot of room to improve that figure. I feel like it was a little bit, like it's some fan service that they didn't put everything into, but who knows? Who knows? And yes, that's good to hear that you're patient. It is a characteristic that is invaluable for life. Savage Land 3-pack. Yeah, I wonder if we'll see it again, or at least see Shauna the She-Devil or whatever she's called again. Another figure. Ready?
There it is. There's the figure right there.
Hi, Harry.
Hey, oh dude, God. I'm live, man. You're.
There's that look.
What? Why are you? You know what? I'm gonna unpack you bringing home 4 2-liter bottles of Coke later.
That's fine. So they announced Cypher, and so one of the New Mutants.
Cypher has a sword. Doug Ramsey's a sword.
Right. So they're giving Doug Ramsey in the reveal. They said that he's got like a warlock.
Yeah.
Like a piece of warlock that it's a sword, and that's fine. They want to give him some sort of offensive weapon. One of the traits of this character when I was reading the comics back as a kid was that he did not have an offensive weapon, and that was part of his right. Like part of one of his. It should
just be him doing this, like.
Just I don't know. He actively felt not useful, but he was technologically savvy. He had Warlock as a buddy that he could like fuse with.
Armor up on. That was cool.
I thought that was super cool that Warlock would kind of go around him. Cool. When Art Adams would draw that, and I would totally go in on
like a Doug Ramsey
figure of some sort of hybrid.
Yeah, that would
be an awesome one. Yeah, Michael says, shouldn't it be a thesaurus? And yes, there you go. I'm yeah, I would super much like that. So that wasn't a good sentence. I threw it up there with the other two figures because the body that it's on is the same body as Roberto Sunspot from
Right.
the X-Men 97.
Right.
But they said that it does match the yellow color of Ileana, which is on the Secret Wars retro card.
Yeah.
Cypher will be on an X-Men retro card, like that orange bubble. Yeah, retro. Now, I can see it's the same body as Sunspot, so I'm wondering how many people
Yes.
are just going to buy two Cyphers and use that Sunspot head, because Sunspot in the faded yellow, it like doesn't match X-Men 97 either.
No.
No, it's not a modern New Mutants. It is the original, like whatever year it was, 1983 or whatever, 82 New Mutants uniform. That they're going to eventually give us probably all of the characters in at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if they give us another Roberto with a non-animated portrait.
Yes.
But I still, if I ever come across Cypher and doubles, I might just, even though the skin color won't match on the neck, you can kind of hide it. But they're going to give us.
Did you say this is a 3-pack? Did you say this is a 3-pack?
I know, I'm not saying that at all.
Oh.
So Sunspot is out already.
Yes.
He was on the X-Men 97 card back.
Yes.
Ileana is out on a Secret Wars card back for reasons, because she was not in that series at all, nor was she part of the original toy line. But I'll take it. I have it pre-ordered. It's fine. I'm excited. And then Doug Ramsey is the one, or Cypher is the one they announced yesterday in the live stream. Okay. And that's like a nice figure to have. I don't think he's not like first on any list of like most important New Mutants. You kind of go, Danny Moonstar, Cannonball, like those original kind of characters, and then Karma, Roberto,
Doug Ramsey,
Ileana, Warlock, Magma. Like you build it out.
You're really moving Doug to the ball.
He is kind of. There's nothing dynamic about the toy, which is why they had to give him a sword. Doug Ramsey, the character is introduced. I don't remember what year. I'm just going to make it up. I'm going to say he gets introduced around 85. He's there for the time that the X-Men have the Asgardian Wars in the New Special #1 and the X-Men Annual 10. Like he's there for that. And that's about 85, 86. And he's dead. Spoilers, by the time we reach Extinction Agenda. And we hear Rain, Wolfsbane, crying about it to Storm in issue 1.
That's right.
And if you want to see that performance from Chris Sanikin, watch last week's episode, and you'll hear Chris's performance where Rain's heart is breaking as she takes out her anger on her friend Storm.
That's right. In less than appealing Scottish brogue.
Oh, I've never met anyone with a Scottish accent, so I thought that was really authentic.
Amazing, then I did my job.
So I wanted to show these three as a way to contrast, and I also recognize they were different photographs from different light sources. But just in general, you can really see in this how light the yellow is on Sunspot. And I have the figure in hand. It is incompatible with the rest of the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There you go.
Doug,
all good.
I mean, very cool to see these reveals always, and the choices that are made. It's what an interesting conversation they have to choose. When they choose those figures, and like this one for these reasons.
Sure, and often I think they don't put out the best one until near the end. Because if you put out Doug Ramsey last, maybe no one buys it.
It's true.
Now, when they make Cannonball, I hope they use a different buck because he's significantly taller and leaner.
He's a little leaner, yeah.
He's gangly, especially because he's a teenager. But the one that I really want is when they finally do give us, I hope, maybe they'll do it for Karma, a body that is unaffected by any kind of change or unique feature, like Ileana's arm. They'll give us a female body that is just a generic suit, because I want one for Kitty Pryde.
Yeah,
That's
true.
Paul Smith, Kitty Pryde.
Yeah, that's true.
John Byrne, Dave Cochran, Paul Smith, Kitty Pryde. Like, that is one that I'm like, ooh, I want that team.
Did they make that's the one you're talking about, like New Mutants X-Men training suit Kitty Pryde?
Thank you for that, Michael. Allie's being nice and says maybe Sunspot's power has faded his costume. Yeah, okay. I like that. That's all good. Anthony wants a Polaris re-release or figures part of the X-Men 97 wave or something. There have been at least 2 Polaris figures. There's been one in a modern version of her green suit, which is passable as like a classic one. And there's been an X-Factor one where she's like bigger and has massive green curls and is in a suit that matches X-Factor Havoc. So they all need re-releases because they've just improved the product so significantly. And yeah, there is that Warlock Build-A-Figure, and he's just been, John says, he's been waiting for the rest of the team for years. It's a great looking figure to have as like a weird tall thing in the background as you build out your New Mutants team. Yeah, so we'll see what we get. Maybe we'll get one in the X-Men 97 wave of Polaris. We'll see. You ready for another reveal?
Yeah, sure. Ooh.
So this is, like, for me, this is the most kind of exciting, but also strange because there is a really good Beast figure already out there who is, got like faux fur texture.
Yes.
Molded into the plastic.
Yes.
Where this one, it's very, very smooth. It looks like the animated series. And there's really a few spots of like tufts of fur. But I like these renders that we see, these photos. When I saw it on the live stream, it looked like a cheap toy, just because sometimes the animated smoothness doesn't really translate to high quality. It doesn't like his plastic is matte and it's very flat and there's no shading on it. So it looks kind of like it's an unpainted thing on the body. And recently the company Mondo released a really kind of high-end, maybe 7 or maybe even 12-inch, I don't know, a larger version of that figure with cell shading on it, which only works if you hold it in one direction because you put it upside down. The shading's on the wrong side. But anyway, so this looks really good here. He comes with the goggles, comes with 2 portraits, comes with that wristband thing, I guess it's a communicator, the backpack. Like, looks great. And yeah, I'll get it to be with my group. And his toes articulate, which is awesome.
Oh, that is cool. Is this a X-Men 97?
Oh, very clearly, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it.
That does look great.
I don't think it'll look as good in person as it does here. But anyway, there you go.
I feel like if you needed a beast on your team, seems to be a pretty solid option.
Yeah. If you're going to do the whole team in 97, you can't not do Beast.
Yes.
He's probably one of the only ones that you kind of can't put in your animated or comic line. Like, he's so specifically, whereas, the animated Wolverine can work as your comic Wolverine. Cyclops, his face not so much, but the body for sure. A lot of them you could kind of, use it wherever you want in your display. This one is just so specifically animated, which is great. I'm glad they're kind of following through on that promise, which is kind of cool. They're not reusing a body from something else like they have from most of the other figures.
Okay.
Ali says, I think the bracelet is his image inducer. I forget, did he use an image inducer in the old show?
I don't remember.
I know Nightcrawler famously in the comics did.
Yes.
All right, should we keep moving?
Let's keep going.
Comics. I found a couple pages of the original art. I know Maz has the Jim Lee artist edition of X-Men, and there are a lot of pages from this issue. When you see these things, like, you can watch the cartoonist kayfabe video where they go through it. Jim Lee's original art in this issue is phenomenal. You can see how much rigor he's putting into every single drawing. Clever to do the silhouettes. It saves him a little bit of time. on the render, but it doesn't need heavy rendering on those. It works really well in silhouette. That's an effective strategy. How cool is this little Havoc in silhouette here at the bottom?
Yeah.
Like, looks just great.
I mean, look at that Wolverine with his claws out, right? Like,
right? Like, is there anything better? It puts everything else to shame, truly. If you're the president at Marvel or the publisher or editor in chief at Marvel, and you realize you've got this guy in your stable of artists, it's the golden goose. Like, there's nobody who draws like this at either company this time, who's a regular artist. Yes, Arthur Adams can draw amazing stuff, obviously, and Michael Golden. There are two other guys, but they're not putting out regular comics. Jim Lee's on a monthly.
Yeah.
Like, locked in. It's John Byrne who? John Byrne's already gone by now. He's working on what? Is he working on Next Men at Dark Horse or something? But and he'll come back, or maybe he's working on She-Hulk at the time. As much as I love Byrne, and Byrne, is my first favorite artist. Like, he means a lot to me. By 1990, actually probably even by the mid 80s, when he goes over to Superman, even on FF, he stops having inking that has the Terry Austin magic, which was a huge part of the appeal for me as a fan. And his work looks well planned, but still rushed. Like, he doesn't have this level of magic in his fastball. But I do love Byrne. But by 1990, he's much more economic.
Right.
Oh, only 4 pages. But that's not one of them. Are you sure? I have to believe you. Matt says, not one of them. Okay, cool. And there's this one too. And it's crazy to think like how much gray you get on Wolverine's arm, and you'd think, oh, that's screen tone. They're putting it on Zipatone, Like, no. That's Scott Williams inking every single hair. Where it makes Wolverine look gray. Just incredible. Yeah, really, really good. All right, you want to do this comic?
I think we probably should.
All right, I think we should. I'm looking forward to it. It'll give me an excuse to pour some more tea in my mug and hopefully get my voice to come back. Do you want to talk about the cover?
Sure. I mean, the cover is, at least I have no idea. Now, I mean, I know who that character is because I read the comic, but there's a lot of weirdness going on there.
All right. True.
That's my first reaction to it. I mean, you see, Wolverine, battling somebody. You see, Kid Storm and Psylocke, but yeah, this
I forgot to do
NECA person cyborg thing.
Yeah, we need to talk about this, and I forgot to do an essential part of this episode today, which is talk about the 2 issues that come in between.
Right.
Chris, did you read this one?
Not yet. You lovingly gifted it to me, so thank you, but I have not gotten to it.
I'm going to say I re-gifted it.
Okay.
So that one was in my collection for about a year, and it was a second printing. And when I came across this first printing, I'm like, I don't need the second printing and the first printing. Let's give it to Chris.
It was his birthday. Second printing kind of guy.
Yeah, that's a great gift. Give away an old comic. I mean, it was in good shape, but still. Yeah. And then there's this issue of X Factor.
Okay.
So I need to quickly tell you what happened in these 2 issues.
You do.
To bring everybody here up to speed. I also happen to have a trade put out afterward before Marvel got good at trades. So it's kind of weird. It's some of it is that airbrushed looking like early computer coloring. Like, we got to make a highlight on every single muscle. Every single muscle needs a highlight. And
that Cyclops uniform is like in between the classic.
No, it's just not part of it.
And the Y,
No, it's just not part of it at all. Weirdly, they also added a couple panels in that are clearly not done at the same size, like to make the pages work. There's this one cable drawing It's like, wait a minute. We've seen Jim Lee draw Cable's arm. He does not draw that.
No.
He draws a very intricate, like amazing set. Like this is on the page before. Look at that arm.
Right.
Okay. Jim Lee's not the kind of artist that does that and then does this. I know who is that kind of artist, though. I know who is.
Okay.
And let's get to that. So what happens after mutants like, well, Wolfsbane, Storm, Richter, and Boom Boom are the 4 that get captured by the magistrates. Okay, so they're captured. Off they go. They get basically pipelined or pipelined, if you want to be technical.
Of course.
They get pipelined back to Genosha. And the remainder of the X-Men come bursting from the underground complex, of the X-Mansion to find that their teammates are gone. Now, this next issue, I'm just going to tell you what I really think. The next issue is New Mutants, and it is, objectively speaking, the worst Marvel comic I've read on memory. The worst. And now I've read some bad comics from the 60s. I've read some bad comics from the 70s. But that was because the general bar was that they're aiming for a 7-year-old reader and 7-year-old critical thinking. By about 1990, things have shifted up. We're aiming for about a 13-year-old.
Okay.
And what makes this issue so bad, it's written by Louise Simonson, drawn by Rob Liefeld and company, it says. What makes it so bad is that there is a disconnect between the pencils and the writing, which were probably done in that order. It's probably done Marvel method. Rob draws what he wants to draw. Louise comes in and has to add script to kind of make it work.
Yeah.
But the inconsistency between panels is shocking in this. For instance, there's some really bad use of panels where here there's a giant tower across the way and someone says right there, coded. Who is saying it? We don't know. How do we hear it from outside across the canyons of a city? We don't know. These characters here are talking and someone in this building is talking and it says locked. I don't know how that works in comic books. Like, it doesn't tell you. It's completely terrible storytelling. Here is this double splash that Rob decides to do in this direction. I'm going to go full screen if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
I feel bad for everybody out there, but this is just what's going to happen. And I won't do this for the whole issue, just a little bit. So we get this double page spread. We get the New Mutants, who again are adolescent. Boom Boom is missing arms, and what she's lost in limbs, she's made up for in chest. Richter is missing arms and genitals, but that's okay. Wolfsbane is in wolf form, and Storm almost looks like she has like 2 ponies,
Pigtails?
like Harlequin, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so badly drawn. And we don't know what's happening with that character that is Cameron Hodge in terms of how what is that mechanism? Like, how is he put together? There's no background. Rob just draws some dust. It doesn't make any sense. In the next panel, is here. You see Wolfsbane?
Yeah, at the top, yeah.
She's in this form. She was in her feral wolf state before. Now she's this. Now she's a wolf again. There's no rhyme or reason to this. Again, no backgrounds. Like, just the weirdest comic with like no sense between pages. It goes on and on where you're kind of reading. They fight Cameron Hodge. They get beaten by him. He puts them in a cell. The cell has no backgrounds. Anyway, the X-Men all meet. They're on the ground. Can you see here Cable just posing
Yes.
and Forge just posing?
Yes.
Do they look wet or dry?
Dry?
Right. And the caption says, and you and Forge are dripping wet. What is it, Cable? What has happened? So there's no connection between what we're seeing and what we're reading. And then again, after that fight, for no reason, by the way,
Yeah.
there are the 4 prisoners, again, with their hands behind their back, naked, with no shackles.
So why would their hands be behind their back then?
Whatever. So their hands were behind their back before, then they have a fight, and their hands are behind their back. It's as if no one is paying attention as they're making this.
Right.
There's some other things like that, but the issue continues. This battle, you see Cameron Hodge here?
Yep.
This battle is happening in their jail cell. Is that 3 stories tall? Again, no backgrounds to show you that they're in a cell. It's just, it's like no one cares. They're not doing a good job at all. Anyway, by the end of the issue, what you really need to know is they are draining power from Warlock. He's dying. And the other mutants need to escape. Warlock says that he turns off the bars or gets them out somehow, but you actually never see it happen. He just does this. There's just a noise. And then all of a sudden, his power is drained and they're free, but we don't actually know how. Louise Simonson is having to jump through hoops to try and make sense of what Rob has drawn. And then eventually X-Factor arrives at the mansion, teams up with the X-Men, and they decide they're going to, go do something. And then by the end of the issue, Wolfsbane goes for another attempt to kind of free Warlock. The bad guy Cameron Hodge completely drains Warlock. He dies. And that's the end. So that's what happens in New Mutants. It's bonkers. The issue of X-Factor introduces a couple new characters, including the president of Genosha, who is, for all intents and purposes, a weird Ronald Reagan woman.
Right.
Like a really, really weird Ronald Reagan woman. It's done in kind of a caricature style. So Cameron Hodge, at least in this one, is a little more clear as to what he is. Like, we can see he's sort of part spider, part alien queen, like insect with a cybernetic head on the end. Like, he makes a little more sense with John Bogdanov, this artist. And X-Factor goes to get permission from Val Cooper to charge into Genosha and rescue the kids. And everyone's together. This is a little weird. Just one little note. You see who's in this cabin of their little jet? Can you see who those characters are?
Cable, Cyclops, Marvel Girl, Beast, Forge, and Iceman?
You got it. So when they get back to ship to, get ready to go, when they get to ship, they hop out of their little spaceship for a minute, and Cyclops is holding baby Nathan.
Oh, I thought...
Saying goodbye, give him a kiss. But that's Cable, right? It's a little... But I don't know if they had planned that yet. I don't think they have. So it's kind of a funny... Being,
Totally.
2 different time periods being the same spot. The X-Factor X-Men team with some of the New Mutants as well. So it's sort of like a cavalry in a way.
Mm-hmm.
New Mutants, X-Factor, X-Men, they sneak into Genosha. They're spotted quite quickly, probably after the first couple minutes, and battle ensues. And right away, it gets down to what we really want to see, which is Summers versus Summers. And it's very dynamic. The artwork is dynamic. It's incredibly exaggerated. It looks like it's done very
Who
fast.
does the art for the X-Factor issue?
John Bogdanov.
And who writes it?
Is it also Louise Simonson? Is it Walt Simonson? Caught me. Totally caught me. Hold on. Simonson again, Anthony says. Thank you, Anthony.
Thanks, Anthony.
It's Louise.
Wow.
So the art looks fast and loose, but it is very dynamic and easy to follow. You know, there's proportions are really, really liberal, but you do get, you know, an Alex versus Cyclops punching each other to the nudity.
Yeah.
Look at the calves and the shoulders, like
huge calves.
But at least it all tracks. Like, it makes sense within Bogdanov's chosen liberal use of anatomy. It's like an intentional thing. I've seen him deliver more accurate stuff than I recognize that it is on a deadline, but at least it's all readable and consistent from beginning to end. The story works. There is a collaboration that is on par. I love this panel here where the brothers are fighting and Cyclops is saying, like, I've got to make him remember. I have to, like, bully him. I have to make him remember who he is because he doesn't remember at all. So he's, like, beating him up and banging his head on the ground. Like, when you were little, it's going to work now. You know, I used to do this to you when you were a kid. I'm going to beat you up the way I used to.
It's unfortunate that he also did, like, I'm just going to put my finger in front of your eye, but I'm not going to touch you. I'm not going to touch you. I'm not going to touch you.
So you can see on this page how much, like, head smashing there is.
Yeah.
And as they're fighting, Havoc thinks, why does this seem so familiar? As his head is being pounded. Why do I think we fought like this before? Maybe what he says is true. So it's, you know, they're kind of getting through in a way. Then the kids also all start to escape their cells in the background using the sewers. They're moving around. And eventually you get kind of like the first time we see Cyclops sort of in the visor with no headgear.
Yeah.
And I think this is sort of where it starts, you know?
Right.
And I do think he always looks way better without it, but man, he's drawn so big. And that takes us up to where we are now.
Oh my goodness.
Everyone's on the island. There are, you know, a X-Force out in the wilderness.
Yep.
There's characters who have escaped and trying to run free. And that brings us to the part where we want our favorite, or my favorite, X-Men to enter the fray.
Part 4 of 9, I believe. X-tinction agenda.
Anthony says, Jason, you deserve a glass of scotch after having to recount that New Mutants issue again. Thank you, Anthony. It is a harrowing experience reading that issue. It's terrible. Even if you're a Liefeld fan, you're not going to get what you love from Liefeld in that issue. So maybe I'll have scotch after this. Whew. All right, Chris.
Let's dive into it.
Dramatis personae. Jubilee, Wolverine, Psylocke. And those were the 3 X-Men we were kind of missing the last time we entered into this. And we're going to get some weird rendering or weird interpretation of the things that have been set up by the other 2 artists. So Jim Lee has to carry on with some of the character work done by Liefeld, as well as what was done by Bogdanov. So that strange Ronald Reagan president woman.
That's right.
The caricature is not pushed as far into the abstract.
Right.
It's sort of like what you know, an older woman might look like if she had a couple features this way or that way.
Mm-hmm.
But we can begin with the news report, if you will.
Yeah. The Indian Ocean is in crisis tonight, thanks to the kidnapping from American soil by Genosian magistrates of a number of children said to be mutants, affiliated with the publicly acknowledged superhero team X Factor. A carrier battle group in that area has been placed on full alert. The president's calling for both economic and diplomatic sanctions. The situation has not been helped by the reported death of one of the children, nor by the Genosian president's announcement that the others are to be put on trial.
These beings are terrorists, mummy. They present a clear and present threat to the security of this nation and the safety of its people.
The children have been charged with capital crimes, the maximum penalty for which is death. Should they be found guilty, the Genosian government says that sentence will indeed be carried out. This is Manoli Wetherell, NPR TV reporting for All Things Considered.
Also in this issue, of course, another part of the cast is Storm, Boom Boom, Wolfsbane, and Richter. And I like that Jim Lee is doing this thing that he saw Art Adams do in the Asgardian Wars and those annuals. He did the same kind of thing with the team of X-Men and the team of New Mutants back then. But I also like that he's drawing them at different sizes. So the X-Men one, we recognize that Jubilee is up close, and that Psylocke and Wolverine are kind of in the same spot. Psylocke is just taller. In this one, it looks like Wolfsbane is the shortest of the three women, the three girls on the other team. And Richter's hair makes sense this time because, well, a little bit more. It looks like at least it works in 3 dimensions.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I like the NPR shout out to All Things Considered. I do listen to the NPR podcast, All Songs Considered. So that's kind of fun.
Stanley presents Flashpoint, starring some Uncanny X-Men and a few New Mutants too. Genosha's capital city, Hammer Bay.
Prisoners, surrender immediately or be shot down where you stand.
I think you're Boom Boom, aren't you?
Okay, I think you're right. They mean business, Rick.
I can't give up, Boom Boom. Not when it means being handed over to Cameron Hodge.
If only we still had our powers, we could blow those stinking magistrates out of the sky.
Now notice, the credits are here in the paper being blown.
Yeah.
In an Eisnerian fashion. Like it's a good way to put the credits there. The first credit you would see is pencils Jim Lee. Then inks Scott Williams. And I do agree those are the 2 most notable things in this comic. And then it says words Chris Claremont. Not written by, just words.
Just words.
Like it's not his story.
Right.
Editor-in-Chief Tom DeFalco, colors Clintus Oliver, letters Tom Orzechowski, edits Bob Harris. I dig this panel. I love that, Jim Lee understands how to draw the buildings in the far, far away and have them not go all the way to the ground, but like leave that room for Richter's body to be, to take that space up. So the buildings, it's not relevant to finish every detail there. And I think it looks really good.
Right. Yeah.
Looks like a New York street, though, doesn't it? Or back alley.
Certainly does. Fair and final warning, kids. Time to face the consequences.
Orders are to take him alive, Tam.
So they can be given up to Commander Hodge's tender mercies? No, thank you very much. It's better this way, Josie, and a whole lot kinder. A quick, clean kill.
I believe it's actually the. I think
he's Yossi, like Roman Yossi instead of.
I think it's Roman Yossi. I think it's the Swiss
Roman
pronunciation.
Yossi? Yeah.
He's a Swiss player, right? Roman
Yossi.
Yeah. I think it's Yossi. Now, I also want to point out, and this is me just now being a dick. This style gun is something that we see a lot of out of Liefeld over the years. This kind of oblong shape, not a lot of 90-degree angles on it.
Right.
But this is how you do it properly. You
Right.
create nooks and crannies. There's like a surface that you can clearly determine. None of it looks like it was, made in a Jello mold. It looks like a very sound weapon with functional pieces, just a little bit of, wiring to it. Like panels and grooves and all sorts of things. Like that's how you do that version of a gun.
It reminds me of a Judge Dredd gun.
Ooh.
It's what 2000 AD doing that book or publishing that book,
Right.
But just that kind of that oblong kind of nature of the weapon. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, sweets. Nobody dies today.
Firecracker explosions going off all over. I can't see.
That's the general idea. Major crash. Not at all half bad if I do say so much. Whoop. Ease up on the motor mouth, kid. Pay attention to business. Hey, I can take care of myself. Thank you very much, Mr. Smart Guy Know-It-All Wolverine. I was doing just fine long before I met you. Back then, Jubilee, you ran solo. Now you're part of a team. Your actions have consequences for people other than yourself, you selfish little brat. And grandstanding plays only end up getting the wrong folks hurt. Nice work, though, putting down that patrol. Okay, see this picture?
Yes.
This feels to me like when I looked at it the first time today, I was like, I feel like there's so much Frank Miller in it to me.
Right.
Do you mind if I just exit this for a second and show you something else? I'm sorry, I'm going to ruin this for everybody. Remove. Put this in. And it's not at all the same picture.
Right.
Not at all. But I can see, again, like we can talk every issue about something where Frank Miller plays an influence on Jim Lee. This is not, I wouldn't even say this is an homage. It's not a ripoff. It's not a copy. Nothing. But there's just something about that angle and the use of Wolverine in that kind of setting where he's looking off, and how the language is one that was not a Byrne pose or a Cochran pose or a Barry Windsor Smith pose or a Paul Smith pose or whatever. It kind of comes, I think, from the parts that guys like Frank Miller brought in.
Sure.
Yeah, anyway, thought that was kind of cool. And Miller is the first, and I think an only person I've ever seen draw a woman hanging off of Wolverine's back as he leaps.
I mean, and like this is, again, his art is wholly his own, right? Like it's taken from the before, but wow, how much is it standing out on its own?
Totally. And that city in the background, doing that in color hold to push it backwards so that Psylocke doesn't get lost in it either. And then having them break the panel on all four sides.
That's right. That's right.
It is so dynamic, and no one else is doing anything like this on a monthly basis at Marvel. Like, this is the best artist out there working month to month. And it's like he's at the beginning of his journey, almost. Or he's just hit stride. And, he did work on Alpha Flight, and he did work on Punisher War Journal. So there were a couple years doing things, but, like, this guy is gonna...
And do we know if X-Men is still the best-selling book at this time?
You know what? I haven't kept up with the sales numbers. But even if it took a dip, which I think it did, it's going to go and become the best-selling comic in the States as a floppy on record. Now, there are a few things. There's a few asterisks that you need to put next to that claim of, highest-selling comic of all time. It doesn't mean around the world because they're not counting numbers from Japan and Europe and stuff. It's also not counting because they couldn't track it. What happened in the newsstand days? Because they were like not accurate numbers as to how many they printed or how many were returned.
Sure.
or destroyed as they were supposed to be if they didn't sell. So those like Captain Marvel, Shazam comics back in World War II
Yeah.
were selling in the multiple millions, and there just isn't an accurate account of how many sold and didn't
Right.
go to. But since they were tracking to this degree, yeah, X-Men #1, the self-titled or whatever, the non-descriptive X-Men #1 is tracked at about 8 million copies. So even if there is a dip in sales that is experienced not because of Jim Lee's work at this point, but because of probably what was coming before it, it's ramping up pretty quick as we get to 1992.
Righto. Righto. What
Amazing
a
picture.
hell
Like, that's just an
Yeah.
awesome, awesome picture.
For sure.
Now let's take him out. Jubilee's all enthusiasm and talent, making her moves on pure instinct, with no idea really what she's doing and praying they're the right ones. Wolverine's the natural brawler, aided by bones that can't be broken and adamantium claws that'll cut through anything. Like a hot knife through butter, as he used to always say.
Bub.
Fighting as integral a part of his being, or as integral a part of his being as breathing. That's pretty
Whoa.
integral. Yeah. But where his skills are raw and rough-edged, as fierce as his nature, Psylocke is the personification of power and grace. Literal poetry in motion. No, it's not literal poetry. Anyway, but moving on. Oh, hello there, toying around. You like some Jim Lee X-Men there, bud? Where he's more berserk battering ram, but no less effective. Yet, formidable as these X-Men are, the magistrates, especially their leader, Tam, quickly, surprisingly, devastatingly prove their match.
You muties did a lot of damage last time you were here. I lost some friends to you personally, Wolverine. Been aching for a chance to settle the score.
And that's in X-Men 235 to 238. That would have been like those issues where him and Rogue
Mm-hmm.
are captured.
Train and all that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And how great is that, left swing
Mm-hmm.
with her baton or whatever weapon that is. Like, you can really feel the power of that thing as it goes across his
A
jaw.
light baton or something.
It's awesome. Again, just great drawing. He's phenomenal.
That last charge was set on heavy stun. This time, you guessed it, Shorty. It's set to kill. Ooh.
Like every page, he's just killing it.
Yeah, right.
Weren't you listening, magistrate? As Jubilee said, nobody dies tonight. Not even you. Yuck! Psylocke, would you? My psychic knife. The focused totality of my telepathic powers. In this case, used to short-circuit the magistrate's brain and remove her from the fray. I love how, Richter is like, what the? They're all just shocked.
Exactly.
Do not worry. She will recover. With only a headache to mock the experience. That's a lot more merciful than what she had in store for us.
Yo, Richter, check this out.
I love that they're taking their clothes off, including their socks.
Yep.
And they've, tied them up and gagged them. It's nice.
You never know what someone's going to have stuff in their socks.
And at this point, this Jubilee costume is like a 1-to-1 with what ends up in the animated series.
Right.
The little latches or tabs on her jacket, her collar, the visor, the color scheme, how it's like magenta,
Mm-hmm.
not red. She's got her Robin logo in place. The shorts rolled up exactly the way they are in the cartoon. The blue with the straps on the wrists, and yeah, he's figured it out. It's done. She's finished.
Mm-hmm.
Wolverine, I'm all right. She decked you pretty hard. I'm fine, girl. How many times do I have to repeat myself? Only till it's finally true. You're pushing jubilation, Lee. Back off. Leave me be.
Hey, is he...
Didn't you hear? He's fine, okay?
He doesn't look so...
What do you know, Hotshot? He's my partner. He saved your behinds. What more do you want? Man, oh man, how did I ever let myself get tangled up in such a mess? What's the matter, kiddo? Got no faith? I'll settle for smarts, thank you very much. I mean, this is so dumb. You are in no shape for this. What we gotta do is find you a hidey hole and put you to bed till you get better. And that's not an option. What is it with this total macho junk? Are you desperate to die, man, or what? Sometimes, Jubilation, things happen whether you want them to or not. Then it becomes a matter of how you choose to go. All I'm asking is that you respect mine. In case you haven't guessed by now, that's asking a lot.
Yeah.
By the way, who are these lame-o dweeboids anyway?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, like who are they?
Well, you're boom boom. You tell me.
All right.
Watch the mouth, firecracker, before somebody pulls your fuse.
Temper, ladies. Girls, boom boom. Boys, Richter. Both members of the New Mutants. That makes them friends. Thanks for the helping hand, sir. Are you part of a larger rescue force, like an X-Force? Maybe we could be on a team called X-Force? That would be cool. What you see, boy, is what we got. If others are involved, we don't know about them. But the reader does. Important thing now is to find out what we're up against. Got no time to do this the old-fashioned way. I want you both to open your minds and memories to Psylocke.
Do we have to?
Yeah, you do. One thing I really like on this page, even though it's a lot of chatting, every panel is, again, drawn to just kind of perfection. He makes a couple interesting choices. One that I really like, which is odd because it doesn't make sense, but I like it nonetheless, is in the second panel on this page, Wolverine in the foreground, brilliantly put into a cool shadow color to make him appear, in a shadow up close, but it allows us to differentiate between him and Jubilee. But it's this choice on Jim Lee's part to not draw features on Jubilee, but to put her almost in silhouette, but illuminate her gloves, her jacket, and her goggles, just like Frank Miller did in The Dark Knight Returns with Robin.
Right. Wow.
But this is when you do it. Because if you draw the details on her, it clogs up the visual information in that panel by having her in silhouette, in a heightened silhouette. It really helps distinguish the two figures. So that's great. And Glynis Oliver knocks it out of the park by putting Wolverine in that color. And Jim Lee gives Glynis such an opportunity to give a second source of light. So there is that yellow highlight around Wolverine's torso and limbs that again show that, the position that he's in and that there's light coming his way. And then Glynis anchors the page by having that purple in that second panel, and then again repeating a variation of it in the last panel. So it really ties the whole room together.
I will say, the last panel there with Psylocke looking serious. Even though it's kind of interesting because, the look has changed, attitude, but at the same time, if she's amongst friends, she should be, the same Psylocke, same mentality, right?
Right.
She's just
Right.
intense all the time. Like every
She
picture,
really is.
right? There's no Betsy was never like that, right? And so even among friends, it just comes off as a bit much sometimes.
She did get a little more serious during the Silvestri comics
Right.
when they were in the Outback. And, to the point where she was so grim that she actually talked or coerced or, manipulated the X-Men to walk through Siege Perilous, not knowing if they would come out the other side.
Yeah.
So she was getting grimmer, but remember, Claremont has to write this plot, maybe, if they're doing it Marvel method. Its plot is probably negotiated at this point, where Jim Lee would have ideas and bring it forth, and Chris is writing script after he sees the drawing. And if that's the Betsy you get in every drawing, it doesn't leave you much room for characterization other than her being ninja assassin, right?
Exactly.
And one knock on Jim Lee is he really does have her with a cocked hip every single time.
Well, you see it twice on that page.
Yeah, it does stand out as being a bit of a repetitive motif with that character. And no wonder everyone loves her that way, because that's how she was spoon-fed to everybody.
Right.
Like, what a design. It is super striking.
Oh, yeah. Super memorable, for sure.
And once more, the events of the past few days flash across the two mutants' mind's eye. Beginning with the magistrates' attack on Xavier's school and their capture, along with Storm, Wolfsbane, and Warlock. I keep forgetting about Warlock, poor guy. Their imprisonment here in Genosha after the magistrate wipeout had stripped them of their mutant powers. Their torture at the hands of X-Factor's arch-enemy, Cameron Hodge. And finally, their escape thanks to Warlock, who seemingly paid for it with his life. So that brings the reader up to speed too with like what they went through in the last issue. Smart. That's a good call on everyone's part. And then you see a sign of the times in this next panel, second panel. It's 1990. You know what's on Fox TV at like 11 o'clock at night, maybe, or 10 o'clock at night?
Remind me.
Well, look at Richter's left arm, and that should tell you. No, you don't remember? I guess did you ever watch the Arsenio Hall show?
Oh, that's what he's doing. Sure, yeah.
Exactly. He's going around like that, which was this behavior that was copied on that show all the time. They separated Storm and Wolfsbane. Sorry. Yeah, they separated Storm and Wolfsbane. I'm having trouble. There's a period. Pardon me.
Yeah.
They separated. Storm and Wolfsbane may still remain within the Magistrate Citadel, but I also have a psychic sense of both other X-Men and the X-Factor, and the whole of X-Factor on the island. Why doesn't she know that Jean Grey is there?
Yeah, wouldn't the telepaths sense each other?
All right. Now we'll see who kicks whose butt. Psylocke and I'll check out the Citadel. We'll find Storm and Rainey and bring them out. Jubilee, get these two to safety. No way. I go with you. Wrong. Someone with powers needs to look after him. And you're elected.
Is that? Oh, that's Boom Boom. We can take care of ourselves.
This kind of caper isn't won by grandstanding, girl. The stakes are too high and the opposition too dangerous. You want to survive, you swallow your pride and do as you're told. It's nice to know that Arsenio autocorrects to arsenic.
Arsenic. Interesting.
Does your last name autocorrect, or did it used to in Microsoft Word back in the day?
I don't know, actually. I can't remember. Did yours?
Oh, absolutely.
To what?
Well, it autocorrected to the word lipids.
Oh, okay.
and my wife's name is Laura, and her name autocorrected to the word lard. So taking my last name makes her autocorrect name Lard Lipids, which is basically fatty, fatty, fat, fat,
Right.
which she didn't take kindly to, and so she did not take that name.
No, fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
I respect.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it either.
I'm Manoli Weatherell with a special edition of NPR TV's All Things Considered. Tonight, presenting a debate on the current Genosian crisis between Dr. David Moreau, representing the government of Genosha, and Dr. Moira McTaggart of Edinburgh University, Nobel Prize winner for her work in human genetics and one of the world's foremost authorities in that field. To you first, Dr. Moreau, if I may. A comment about your president's announcement that these kidnapped children are to be tried as terrorists and, if found guilty, sentenced to death.
Now, Dr. Moreau is the gene engineer.
That's right.
Did you voice the gene engineer or did I?
I don't remember.
In the first place, Ms. Weatherall, what kind of name is Manoli? These mutants are terrorists, and their punishment, albeit harsh, simply what is provided for under our laws.
We're talking about children, man, not hardened criminals.
That, doctor, is a matter of opinion. Consider what these mutants can do. One can manipulate weather patterns, generate storms of any intensity at a time and place of her own choosing, while another can create earthquakes.
One of your captives, Moreau, is my ward, who's never done you or yours the slightest harm.
Which begs the question, Doctor, what sort of guardian allows her charge to consort with criminals? Perhaps your own connections with this affair merit some closer scrutiny.
Are you threatening me now, laddie? There do you. Now you've had your feast of babies, you'll try a taste of the grown-ups.
Your babies.
Get in my belly.
Yeah, the point is, these mutants claim an affiliation with an outlaw group calling itself the X-Men. And what else but terrorist would you brand those who attack your country and threaten the overthrow of our very society? It is these mutants who have declared war on Genosha. Are we not then to defend ourselves?
If these children are all you claim, don't you think holding them might well provoke a response from their adult counterparts? And would not such a conflict have unimaginable, possibly catastrophic consequences, not just for Genosha alone, but the whole world?
This is precisely why, Ms. Weatherall, we have determined to make this stand. Genosha has been, since its founding, a beacon of racial and political tolerance in a part of the world that badly needs both. We seek only to live in harmony with ourselves and our neighbors. This is a weird batch of word balloons because
they've run into space, right?
they've run out of space, and so I'm going to go counterclockwise.
Yep.
These mutants seek to sweep all that away. If we give in, then we cede to them the total mastery of our lives and fates, and thereby betray all we have worked for as a nation and a people, all we hold most dear, and that we simply will not do, no matter what the cost.
And we're clear. Thank you, everyone. Broadcast is over.
Very nice. Most impressive. You handled yourself well.
I'd rather be in my lab, or better yet, my garden. Been so long, it seems. The flowers are probably totally overgrown.
Every struggle demands its sacrifices.
Easy for you to say, Chief Magistrate. By profession, you're a soldier.
The problem is, I'd rather be a policeman. I was watching Moira McTaggart on the monitors. Did anything about her strike you as odd?
Aside from the fact she seemed to want to tear my heart out with her bare hands, I never imagined the woman could be so fierce. And those clothes.
I noticed that too. Quite an extreme departure from the profile we have of her.
If you think it significant, by all means check it out. For myself, I don't care if I never see that Highland Harridan again. I don't know the word Harridan. Do you? Or Harridan?
Let me see if
It's going to be derogatory. I mean, it's not a compliment.
no.
By the way, is all this security for you or for me?
Oh wow. It is. A harridan is a derogatory term used to describe a strict, belligerent, and unpleasant woman.
Oh, it's especially reserved for women?
It is. It's same category, same as like a nag or a shrew. Especially older women who are sharp-tongued, bossy, or ill-tempered. So not just women, but women of a certain age as well, who clearly have a mind of their own and are not afraid to speak it.
Doesn't every person have a mind of their... Anyway, moving on.
There you are.
Yeah, I can see why this kind of man would be threatened by
Absolutely.
anyone who doesn't agree. At the same time, now just to give some background, regardless of his name calling, which is beneath all of us, Moira McTaggart is being manipulated.
Yes.
By Emil Farouk, the Shadow King, who is a immensely powerful, evil telepath who has been playing around with Legion, who's within proximity to Moira McTaggart and has reality-altering powers. And so all sorts of things around Muir Isle are, as we say in Yiddish, verkackt. And her persona has been moving toward, I don't even know how to describe it, but a comic book version of edgy.
Yes, absolutely. We still don't. I mean, will this be explained? Will this be unpacked a little more? Not sure.
Who knows?
Who knows?
So, back to the story. Dr. Moreau, who's on an island, by the way.
Right? And he is a genetic scientist.
Right. So, I imagine most 13-year-olds are not familiar with the island of Dr. Moreau as a novel or movie.
Right.
But, you know, their comics have been nothing else if not very much on the nose. He says, by the way, is all the security for you or for me?
David, I suggest you think seriously about what you said to McTaggart. Seizing these children is very much akin to grabbing a saber-toothed tiger by the tail.
Saber-toothed tigers don't have tails.
Precisely my point. We fought the X-Men. We know what they can do. Magneto, the self-styled master of magnetism, raised a volcano beneath the ancient city of Varikino from half the world away and wiped it from the face of the earth. And Havoc, the single blast of energy, reduced our former citadel to dust. We have confirmed reports that both the X-Men and X-Factor are on the island. David, if they come at us with gloves off...
The president has faith that your magistrates and the press gang will prevail.
She may well be right, but how much of our country will be left standing when we're done?
That matters to you, Anderson, and me, and the president. But not, I suspect, to Cameron Hodge. And he is the man who has her ear these days. By the way, this guy is drawn too close to Cameron Hodge in style.
Yes. Yeah. Hard to differentiate.
Yes. I want to talk about his jacket for a moment.
Oh, sure.
There's like a
Pattern.
herringbone type texture
Yep.
to it. I think in this case it's actually drawn by hand,
Oh,
but
yeah.
there is a screen tone that does that. This one I just can't tell if it's the screen tone or it's not that difficult to do for a really good inker, and Scott Williams is that kind of inker.
Right.
So I'm wondering if he took inspiration from the screen tone and just said, I'll just do this by hand. But it looks really good.
Yeah.
Later, what happened, Philip? Why did you refuse to understand? Now, we've met Philip many times.
We
He's
have.
stories, and last we saw, he was in New York.
With Colossus.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All your life, you never once thought of the mutates, whose talents make us a prosperous, self-sufficient nation, the envy of the world. Only when your girlfriend tested gene positive and was called for service, only when you yourself were personally affected, did this society become oppressive, and your father some kind of born-again Nazi. Did you think it didn't hurt to do my duty? Duty. Curse you, boy. She was my goddaughter. Now, you don't have this issue in front of you, but I will tell you.
No.
I do not have the same thing as you.
Well, what do you have?
In the middle of this issue that I hold in my hands is a pamphlet for Sega Genesis.
Ooh.
And it's on glossy stock. And it's in that center, right? As you can see, you've got the middle staples there, the middle of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this. I do not get the 2-page spread. I've got this Sega Genesis ad with Joe Montana,
Cool.
Michael Jackson, Ghostbusters, some boxing guy. Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
That is pretty cool.
What number did Joe Montana wear? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Well, this guy's wearing 16. So I think it's Joe
Nice.
Montana.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. All I've done, my son, I've done for my country to make the best possible future for its children. And if some of those children must be sacrificed for the greater good of that society, that is an acceptable trade-off. Yes? Eh? Oh my God, look who's there.
Adolescence.
How ironic that I see this situation in precisely the same way. Storm! Whatever happens to me, Moreau, at least Genossa's gene engineer will no longer create any more mutates. I'm not your enemy, Storm. It's Hodge. If he has his way, every person on this island, on the entire planet, with even a trace of mutancy in their genes will be slain. Whatever you think of me, my responsibility is to my country and its welfare. I have no agenda beyond Genosha borders. Leave us alone. We'll do the same to you. It was Hodge who proposed the attack on your team. It's Hodge who's pushing this whole mad scheme. It's Hodge who likes to eat jelly beans. It's like he's rhyming things off. So must I then choose between the lesser of two devils? It's your only chance, and mine as well.
Well. What, pray tell, do we have here?
Great
Does
call.
this-
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Great call making the lights kind of go out or at least
Yeah.
have the doorway with them in the dark, and we can see his profile as if he's
Totally.
looking at that door. Smart job.
Totally.
Again, good storytelling from Jim.
Does this, I wonder, come under the heading of a timely interruption? How lovely to see you again, Wind Rider. Must be kismet, the way our fates seem to intertwine. Only this time, I think I'll make sure you stick around.
Oh, good Lord.
Why so shocked, squeamish man? It's no more than the gene joke intended for you. Your turn's over, Storm. Now it's mine.
No, Hodge. She's too valuable. She should go into the gene pool, where she can benefit the country she threatened. By the way, at least in this, I can see how Hodge's head connects to his neck. Like his design is really, really out there, but I kind of get it. I get how it works. I don't like it. Makes me uncomfortable for all sorts of reasons, but
Right.
I can see at least how the head is attached to whatever that thing is for a body. My gene engineer has a point, Commander Hodge and Mummy.
As you wish, Madam President. I confess I look forward most eagerly to seeing the mutate transmodation in action. I assume morose storms will begin without delay.
Of course, immediately.
So this, I'm gonna need like a primer and a little background on Cameron Hodge here. So at this point, he is some kind of cybernetic snake creature.
That's what I'm getting out of it too.
Okay. And is X Factor's great foe?
Well, he was the handler of X Factor in its earliest incarnation at the beginning of the series.
Oh, so it's
He was like,
okay.
would give them their kind of bookings and be at their public base. And then I'm going to rely on Anthony, who's in the chat, to, if he can, give us any kind of background on what happened between Cameron Hodge, who was a simple man in a suit with a dream to help these mutants, but I guess secretly hated them the whole time, to the point where he's here. Is there some sort of alien intervention in Cameron Hodge's life, Anthony? Or did he design some sort of suit? Is there a reason he hates mutants so much that you can put into an easy paragraph of some kind without straining or taxing you too much to support us in this? Because it has not been explained in any way within X-Men, and it is playing out within X-Men. So it would be kind of imperative to have the reader know at some point. And maybe, Chris, that should have been your homework, because I know that you love Hodge. You're drawn to all of his phallic illusions.
There's a lot.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot.
Would you like to move the page forward and keep reading a little? We'll see if Anthony can come up with anything, or anyone else, by the way. You like those cards?
I do.
I do indeed.
Meanwhile, approaching the Citadel over downtown Hammer Bay. I think that's probably, Psylocke first. Can you imagine flying in one of these things, open air, on that angle coming down? Like, Lee really effectively communicates like the angle of their descent and the height, and makes me want to. I'm scared to go in those things. It's not, He's awesome. You realize it's the You realize this is the oldest trick in the book. Always works for me, Bets. Oh joy. All right, here's what he says. Let's see. This better be brilliant, Anthony. Anthony says, I'm just teasing, of course. From what I understand or remember, Hodge was a villain to begin with, part of an anti-mutant terrorist group manipulating X-Factor for its own good. Okay, and I wonder if that was part of the original design, or if that was retconned in. Yeah. I do not want to go back and read those old X-Factors, but I will if someone pays me. Okay, moving on. You're going to give me grief now, woman. The child makes sense. Oh, so it's someone else saying that?
No, it's Wolverine and Psylocke.
Yeah, but then the child makes sense. What does that mean?
The child makes sense.
Made sense, I think, it's
Oh, we'll see. So, somehow, Logan, I never imagined you playing the martyr. So she's talking about what Jubilee was saying to Wolverine earlier.
that's right.
Gotcha. Thought you knew me better, Bets. I hardly know myself anymore, my friend, or recognize the woman I behold in every reflection. Does it ever bother you how your adamantium claws and unbreakable claws. Why is the word
Place
claws?
the unbreakable bones, right?
Yeah, let's change it, okay? You ready? We're going to edit this for you guys. You're welcome, Bob Harris. Does it ever bother you how your adamantium claws and unbreakable bones came to be? Nope. One day I didn't have them. Next I did. I made adjustments. Life went on. That was the end of it. But when Barry Windsor Smith reads this, he's inspired to create Weapon X. Why not? Why not? For me, darling, what is. I got no interest in pondering the why of things. But every life has its obligations. I just want to settle mine while I'm still able. And top of the list is what I owe the Betsy. No physical threat in sight. Psychic attack, then. Must be pretty nasty to punch past her defenses. Hard enough to trigger that scream. Her flitter's out of control. Anthony says, Angel seems to kill Hodge. Like they have a history, long story short. But it is now revealed in the issues you're reading that he's actually part robot.
Robots. All right. Thanks, Anthony.
Yes, that is insightful in a way because of your contribution. That doesn't make it good. But your contribution is. Easy, darling. Cavalry's arrived. The Cavalrine, you could almost say.
Ooh.
Wolverine, no! Stay clear. It's Storm. She's in agony. Fighting as hard as she can. Calling for help. Our rapport links us. Her and me and now you. Can't block it out. Neat drawing, right? That's Wolverine's face now.
Yeah.
Merged with Storm's agony. Good drawing.
Yeah, definitely getting like the downward trajectory in terms of the drawing.
Yeah.
It is. You're feeling it. You're feeling it descend, right?
Figuring. Okay, so that's Wolverine talking. Tell me about it. Agony ain't even close. Hang on to your head, Bets. Leave the flitter to me. And then this word, Psypix?
Psypix?
Like an image in the, the Psypix, Wolverine, did you see? All too clear. Hang on, darling. This landing's gonna be as rough as it is ugly. They're starting to transform her into a mutate slave. Rescue. On the double, you guys. I get an officer down and hurt here. Make it look good, Bets. Have no fear. This won't require much of an act.
I think that's all. Last one is in someone else, but those first three.
I think it's probably Wolverine.
Yeah.
Lady's a sensitive. Just took a major size shot. Probably from one of those flaming muty X-Men. She needs immediate treatment from the engineer.
Well, hang on, buddy. We'll take you right to him. Right through here.
Much obliged. Can I run a bluff or what? Don't get cocky. We've still got a ways to go. Anything more from Storm? This complex is so heavily shielded, passive psi scans are useless. And any active telepathic probe will trigger their alarms. So we'll follow this fella's lead.
Hey, Morg, wait up. I caught an incident report tagged with Tam's ident. Said she was hurt. Oh, wait, that's Havoc.
It's okay.
That's not how he talks.
It is. It is now.
It is in Genosha. All right, we'll just keep going. She's
This is
here,
the guy.
Summers. So he says, but keep it quick, lovebirds, okay?
Summers. Lovebirds. Bye-bye Bluff. Havoc!
What is this? You're not.
Nice. Nor are you quite what we anticipated, Alex Summers. Our former teammate is a magistrate through and through. Then we got no option but to treat him like one.
Definitely some Weapon X vibes there with the claws and the helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Security alert, Morg. X-Men in the Citadel. The one that I blew up before I clearly forgot about blowing it up. Whoever you are, you're wearing my lady's uniform. If you harmed her to get it.
Is this the coolest lead up to Havoc using his powers ever?
Let's find out.
And he's got the headpiece that we see him wear, like from now on.
Totally. The headpiece. Interesting how, well, was I, like between Havoc and Cyclops, and they both go from covered head wear
Yeah.
to this era where they both have their hair out.
Yep. I think these creators realize that like superheroes covering up their whole head looks old-fashioned.
Right.
So you got Gambit, Havoc, Cyclops. You know, Wolverine a lot of the time doesn't have his mask on, but his mask is always dope.
Yeah.
But a lot of the characters, like Jubilee with her hair out, now Psylocke, Rogue, Storm, like the X-Men as a brand, don't really wear a lot of head covering on the top in the 90s.
No. I'll make you pay.
Shazam! And this panel is phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
Like you see him charge up, and then he's absolutely directing this. You know, and it's going through multiple walls.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Totally. Brilliant. Summers took out a main power coupling with that blast. The entire sector's dark. Whose side is he on anyway?
Infrared scan. 3-man teams. Full automag. Shoot to kill. Right orders. Smart moves. You're good, bunkies. I'm better. Especially when I'm mad. What a Wolverine image. Holy smokes.
Yep.
And again, great choice to put these characters in silhouette.
Mhm.
And that silhouette of Havoc is super cool where he's, you know, like alternating between light and dark depending on his power.
Yeah, for sure. Get out of my way. Give me a clear shot.
Be patient, bub. Your turn's coming. Give up, boy. Give it up, boy. I pop these claws, you'll need a whole new head.
I'm no boy, old man. And not before my plasma blast sears the flesh clean off your bones.
Why is it you men always seem to talk in macho slogans? Better I had let the Reavers slay him months ago, in X-Men 251, than send him through the Siege Perilous to become this. Your psychic knife shocked some sense back into him. Impossible to know. It depends on how firmly he has embraced this new reality. Do you have any trace of Storm scent? Wolverine!
No need to bother the bouncing berserker about that, my dear. As you can see, he's otherwise occupied. I'll be more than delighted to answer for him. but forgive me. How boorish of me to forget my manners. I'm Cameron Hodge. You, I wager, are Psylocke. Wave bye-bye to that nice lady, Wolverine. When next you see her, assuming I leave you your eyes, I doubt she'll look anywhere near so pretty.
So we get like almost like a full reveal of what this thing is. So he's part snake in that he seems to be
Yeah.
supported by a single articulated kind of spinal column,
Yep.
and then a couple of front legs with lots of tentacles, and then upper kind of pincers on his back and shoulders. Yeah, really, really strange idea of what this character is, and yeah, just bizarre. And then super cool to see Psylocke throw on a giant machine gun or whatever.
Gun. Yeah.
We saw Storm do this in the last issue
That's
in a
right.
very similar pose. Anthony says he's very Mojo adjacent.
Yes.
I agree, and I appreciate you, Chris, not taking a Mojo voice, because
Right.
he does have that incredibly unrealistic, massive grin.
Mm-hmm.
You actually, I find you're playing him more like Bastion,
Mm.
which is fine. It's neither here nor there. But what a strange and hard to interpret design. And I'm not surprised a lesser artist is not able to communicate much with it. But Jim Lee is able to do a lot. Talk is cheap, bub. And we X-Men don't get nailed anywhere near so easily.
Nasty, nasty. You are shamming. For all the good it does you. And here's your companion with her big bad gun. But then, that's traditional for you X-Men women, yes?
Whatever does the job, Butcher. That's a great pose, too. That last panel.
Mm-hmm.
An admirable effort. Totally wasted on my armor. Will your flesh prove as resilient? Hmm?
And he says, keep working, Moreau.
Yeah. Keep working, Moreau. I'll keep you safe.
Arrogant, insufferable swine. They're no match for him. But with his attention focused on those X-Men, at last I'm free to act. I wonder, though, will this make me a hero or my country's greatest traitor?
Caught you.
Only, Hodge, because that's precisely what I wanted. Hoping you'd bring me close enough to strike. My knife is the focused totality of my telepathic powers. Normally, I use it only to shock. But with Hodge, I see no acceptable alternative but to kill.
Guess what? Didn't work. Let's see what happens, shall we, beautiful? When I do the same to you.
So the kayfabe guys suggested that this drawing here of Psylocke is a picture that Jim Lee would have used, like a drawing that he did.
Mm-hmm.
But then he takes to the photocopier and like warps it. You know, when you like move it while it's doing its copying,
Yeah.
you can kind of stretch a thing.
Yep.
That he would have done that, and then they would have put that into the comic or redrawn it, like trace that warped image to add to the comic. But that's kind of like a analog version of doing something in Photoshop. Hodge, if you're interested, the matrix is locked. The transmode process complete.
Open it, Moreau. I want to see. I want these X-Men to see what's happened to their beloved leader, Storm.
That name no longer has meaning. nor does any facet of her former life. Storm is no more. What remains is mutant number 20.
That takes care of her. But whatever, my sweets, shall we do with you?
Find out, sort of, in New Mutants 96 and X Factor 61. And in 30 days, the X-Men go on trial for capital crimes.
Ooh. The X-Men go on trial for white-collar crime.
White-collar crimes. My goodness. So let me see what I have here. Okay. Wow. I like when there's like nothing there, but okay, cool.
Yeah.
So next issue would be part 5.
1, 4. No, wouldn't it be?
No, next issue in the overall story of Extinction Agenda.
Yes.
It would be part 5. Just
Yes.
looking here, see.
For the next X-Men will be 7.
True. Our counting is pretty good. I like this game.
We're on top of it. We're on top of it.
Oh yeah. Oh, here it is. So the next one is part 5.
Oh, okay.
We got
So
that
it's a
one.
Beast on the cover of New Mutants. All right.
Yeah. That makes sense. Also, Cable's there.
Ah, there's the
And then we got
Kabale.
part 6.
Okay.
A weird Cable
More Kabale.
and people on the ground.
Oh.
And then we got, I guess, what comes after 6? 7. Issue 7 is here
More Kabale.
with some serious Jim Lee cover action going on.
Yeah.
Mutant 20. And then part 8, I don't got,
Oh.
which would be
The New Mutants.
97. It's the one just before Deadpool's first appearance.
Right.
On the cover is like Wolverine and Cable. So it might be harder to find because it's like
Right.
got icons on the cover. And then part 9. It ends in X Factor, but it's a Jim Lee cover on X Factor.
Yeah.
So if I can't find that issue by then, I got the trade.
You have the trade.
I can still read it, but I want to get that issue. So if you come across that issue anywhere, Chris.
X-Men. Sorry. New Mutants 97.
Yeah, part 8.
Okay.
The Ocho. You know what I'm saying?
ESPN The Ocho.
The Ocho. There you go. That's a heck of a cover. At least the Wolverine part
It
is.
is.
And the Cable's
Yeah.
pretty awesome too.
I mean, it's a classic Lee's. The guys look rough, and the women also look intense and are posed with a hip out.
Oh, always.
Right.
I thought that's how people stand, no? Hey, did you notice my shirt?
I did see. Oh, there you go. Is that the one? Very nice.
That's from Classic X-Men #1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful Wolverine. Yeah, there you go. Anything else you want to talk about before we call it a show? Call it a night?
No, I think I'm good. Anything you?
Just that I had a really great weekend with you. That was a lot of fun at TCAF. Really
It
fun
was.
to see so many people.
It was.
See lots of friends. We were saying hi to folks all weekend. It was lovely. Really good vibes at that festival and super nice people the entire time. You know?
Yeah, it was great. And you and I have done so far, and probably like this year, we're doing some big shows and traveling to some really neat new places. But overall, I think we're probably doing a few less shows this year, just timing and circumstances. So it was great to hang and then just have an awesome weekend of comics.
Yeah. We had a lot of sushi.
Yeah, a lot of sushi for sure. Yeah, and I brought home a stack too of comics. I'm excited. That's one of the best parts about going to these shows is bringing home a stack.
Allie is smart. Now that you're home, go have a Motu Mando double.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, might actually
I'm
do
gonna
that.
go do that right now.
We did. I will say that we were at the evening on the Saturday. A few of us creators were catching up and eating burgers and mapping out the night. And we thought, could we go see Master of the Universe? And in the end, we decided not to. But it was a topic of conversation about 10 minutes with some people. We got some creator friends who, one in particular is a very big He-Man fan. In fact, was wearing a Castle Grayskull t-shirt. So.
Yeah, we're getting old, and when you have to basically be on, on the next day.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah,
No.
But anyway,
Yeah,
that brings us to the end, dude, of another episode of the show. I guess that's what it brings to the end. The end of my life. Thank you to my good buddy, writer, Group of Seven, The Most Secret Tale on Peregrines, Flight Students, and Fisticuffs, Chris Sanigan. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Jason. That's good, buddy.
Thank you to everyone out there in the chat and all you watching out there on the YouTubes. It's lovely to have you with us and to be interacting with you in some degree. So we really do appreciate that. You can find out more about our comics and upcoming appearances at group-of-7comics.ca and follow us at Group of Seven Comics on social media. Please click like and subscribe. Share with us your take on this issue, which is so beautifully drawn. Really, really top-notch stuff from Jim Lee. Or actually any other X-Men comics if you like, in the comments section below. And go dig out your old back issues, trade paperbacks, essentials, omnibuses, DVD-ROMs, bootlegs, or hop on an app and read along with us next week on Previously in X-Men. Thank you, Bubs. And stay Xy. Thanks, everybody. You guys are the best. Oh, they're pretty good. I mean, would you say the best? Near the best.
Close to the top.
Pretty good. You guys are really, you're like, like a B+.
Solid grade.
Solid.